If you pick up the latest Galaxy S23 or the flagship Galaxy S23 Ultra, in this video I'm going to be showing you guys the first 10 things you need to do as soon as you boot into the phone. After you finish that initial setup, these are the 10 things, 10 settings you must change. So if you guys are new to my channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button right now and let's get started with today's video. First thing is, I hate these three navigation dots that we have. It looks so outdated. I mean, it is outdated at this point. It's 2023. We need to use the gesture style navigation. So you need to go into settings, go into display, scroll down a little bit, and here you will find something called the navigation bar. Here you can go ahead and enable swipe gestures. So you have that gesture based navigation. So you get some extra room over here for your display purposes as well. On top of that, you can now just swipe up to go home. You can just swipe up and hold a little bit to get into the multitasking tray, or if you want to go back, you can just do this from the side and you can just go back. So you don't have those three buttons here anymore. It's pretty easy, and I think this is one of the first settings you must change when you get your Galaxy S23. Next up, go into settings once again, go into about phone, go to software information. From here, you need to go ahead and tap on that build number a couple of times. It will say developer mode has been turned on. Now you need to go back a little bit until you come to the main settings menu. From here, you will find a new option called the developer options. So you just need to go into that. Don't press on any of this, just scroll down a little bit until you find window animation scale, transition animation scale, and animator duration scale. So you'll find these three under develop options. So you just need to go ahead and select this. You can either turn it off completely or select 0.5. I'm just going to go ahead and turn it off, because if you do this, you're just going to feel that the phone is much more smoother. The S23 lineup is really fast and smooth, but if you just do this, it's going to exaggerate that even more, and you will feel that in the day-to-day operations. So I would strongly recommend you guys to do this as well. For the next tip, you need to open settings, and under settings you'll find something called safety and emergency. You need to go into that, and under medical information, make sure you have all of your details up to date. So this is a full medical profile of your personal details. So in case something happens to you when you're out and about, because you always have your phone with you, this information will be readily available. And also make sure you go ahead and add an emergency contact from here. So you can go ahead and add any member, so that when there's an emergency, you can easily contact these particular people. So definitely make sure you go through these settings, because you never know when you will actually need it, and it's very useful to have this set up. For the next tip, again, you need to go into settings, and this time you're going to go down to the lock screen. From here, you will find two options here, lock screen and widgets. So now you need to go into lock screen, click on edit over here. There's a plus button at the bottom saying contact information. So this is very useful, because now you can go ahead and type your name out, or your mobile number or your address or whatever you want. I'm just going to type my name out here, and now it's just going to show my name over here at the bottom of my screen. Or I can just say my Instagram handle, just like that. So even when my phone is just like on the lock screen, people will know whose phone this is, right? So right now I'm just going to go ahead and select done. So now the changes have been applied to the lock screen. So now when I lock and unlock, you can see that information down here. You can even add your other, like let's say for an example, you have a secondary number, you can add that over here as well. In case you lose your phone, someone will be able to contact you using that number. For the next tip, you need to scroll down once again to lock screen, and here you will find something called the always on display. If it is disabled, make sure you enable it, and then you need to go inside, and here you can go ahead and enable tap to show or show always. Show always is what I personally prefer and use, so I'm gonna select that. Here you can go ahead and select the clock style. If you want, you can adjust it, right? Or you can go ahead and add a sticker based clock here as well. So I'm just gonna go with this clock, and I can even change the color of the clock. So let's say I want blue, I'm gonna do that. Or there are a couple of multicolor options here at the bottom as well, so you can go ahead and play around with it and select whatever you like. And then enable the music information options and the screen orientation options. You can select whether you want it to be landscape or portrait. Auto brightness setting you can enable, so you can do that. But if you want to take it up a level, if you want to only show it at a particular time of the day, let's say for an example, you want this to only be active from 7 in the morning till about 12 in the night, or let's say 11 in the night, you can go ahead and set the start and end time so that it won't really run during the time that you're asleep. It won't really run and drain your battery. But in my case, I personally have it on show always, because in the night I plug my phone to charge anyway, so it's not gonna really drain my battery. And I prefer to have this because when I have the always on mode like this, I can just easily glance at my phone without even touching it. I know what time it is and it just moves around. It's very nice to have, very convenient, and even the notification icons will just show up here. So definitely something you need to enable on your new Galaxy S23. Let's say when you have your phone in your hand, don't you just hate it when your phone screen just times out on you? When you're doing something very important, just like that, it's gonna time out and just fade away. So to avoid this, you need to go into display, you need to scroll down a little bit. Here there's something called screen timeout. Just go ahead and set it to 2 minutes. I think that's gonna be plenty of time for you to act on whatever you are doing. And just to be on the safe side, because this could be a security risk in case you don't lock your phone and just leave it around, it's gonna be on for 2 minutes. So because of this, after you set it for 2 minutes, get into the habit of always pressing the power button over here so that the phone is always locked, right? So because of that, nothing wrong would happen, because you're anyway locking your phone manually every single time. For the next tip, I'm actually going to be switching to the S23 Ultra. So I'm gonna take that and leave my S23 over here. So once again, we are back in the settings page over here on the S23 Ultra. So the next tip is to go into the security and privacy section over here. Just scroll down a little bit and you will find something called biometrics. From here, you can go ahead and add fingerprints or your face unlock mechanisms. So you can go ahead and enable face registration. So just go ahead and add your face. I'm not going to do that right now. You need to first set a pin and then you can add your face. But I'm going to show you guys how to add the fingerprint now. So I'm just going to go ahead and enter a pin. So I'm just going to say 4 zeros. You guys need to select a better pin. I'm just using this for the demonstration. So you can just go ahead and hit on register. And now the S23 Ultra actually has a fingerprint scanner built into this display over here. So just make sure that you go ahead and add it just like this. So once you do that, now when you go into the lock screen, you can just go ahead and press on the screen just like that and the phone will get unlocked. It's pretty awesome. The best part is when you add both the face unlock as well as the in-display fingerprint scanner, then either way you can get in, because when you just look at the phone, when it recognizes your face, it's going to automatically unlock this, right? Or else by default, when you're taking your phone out, when you do this, it will just unlock with the fingerprint. So either option, it's gonna work. So definitely make sure that you add both of these security measurements onto your phone to make sure that it's always secure. And always use a strong PIN or password as a backup, because in case someone gets their hands on your phone, if you have very good security built into it, you have nothing to worry about. Next up, you need to go into settings once again, go into display. Now you need to go into the dark mode settings. So in case you don't know, your phone comes with something called the light mode and the dark mode. So this is basically turning your phone into complete darkness, or you can set it to light mode. But something you might not know about is if you go into dark mode settings, you can actually enable it in a schedule. So you can set it from sunset to sunrise, or you can set a custom schedule. I personally prefer sunset to sunrise. So this way in the night, it's automatically going to switch to dark mode, and in the morning it's going to switch to light mode. So throughout the day, it's just going to switch between the two. So that's really awesome to have over here. Next up, you need to go down a little bit here. Down, when you come here, you will find something called the camera cutout. So here, now in case you are not so satisfied with this punch hole camera in the middle, if you want to hide that in certain applications, you can just use this option to do that. So let's say for an example, you want to hide it on the calendar. So I'm gonna do that, and now in settings you can see the punch hole camera over here. But now if I just go into the calendar, as you can see, now that bar has been turned into black and you really can't see the punch hole camera over there. But if I go back into settings, you can see that. So I can just go ahead and enable or disable that just like this. So now I've just disabled it. Now you can see it on the camera app. So small tune up that you can do to avoid this punch hole camera. Also, talking about this punch hole, I actually made a few videos on the punch hole earlier on previous Galaxy devices that I have a link down below in the description that you can go ahead and check out. There are some awesome wallpaper apps that you can use to make this punch hole look really awesome. Especially if you're a fan of Spider-Man, go ahead and check out that video. I'll have a link for it down below, as well as a card right here. So go ahead and watch that right after this video. For the final tip, you just need to go ahead and swipe from the right hand side from where the volume buttons are, and you'll find this panel. It's called the Edge panel. You can actually go ahead into the settings area, and if you just go ahead and search for Edge panels, you will actually see that over here. So there's actually a handle that shows up on the side. If you look very closely, you will be able to see that. But if you don't want to see the panel anymore, you can just go ahead and just reduce or increase the transparency of it just like this. And you can even increase or decrease the size. As you can see, it's adjusting over here, and you can even set a custom color if you want, right? So once all of that is done, once you're happy with that setting, go into this panel section. Here there are a couple of panels that you can enable or disable, right? So right now only the apps panel is enabled, but you can enable the live messages, the people section if you use that. But I personally prefer to have the weather, the tools, and maybe I'm gonna have the smart select options. So let me show you what happens when I use those. So now these are the apps, so you can just go ahead and hit on this edit button and use add the most common apps onto this so that you can easily get into it. So all you have to do is just do this no matter where you are. Even if you're like, let's say inside messages, you want to get into a particular app, you just have to do this and you can easily switch to that particular app just like that. So that's definitely something you need to configure. Other than that, now if you just swipe like this, you can get into the other panels. If you want to make like let's say a screen selection just like this, so you can do that, or you can adjust the size like this, press done, and just like that, now you can just edit it out, or you can download that to your gallery and then share it. Now the gallery has that, so you can go ahead and share it if you want. Other than that, if you come here, there are a couple of tools that are available, like the compass that is there. You can go ahead and calibrate that. It's very useful to have these tools. Other than that, you can go ahead and even have a ruler here in case you want to measure something really fast. This is something that I personally use as well. There's the flashlight option that you can go ahead and enable. There's a brightness toggle, so you can increase or decrease the flashlight using this option as well. So this is definitely something fun that you can use. Or a tally counter, simple tally counter that's just built in to your device. I mean, it's just all hidden in this edge panel on this side. A lot of people just choose to ignore it, but I think this is one of the coolest things that you need to enable so that you can really use it when the time comes for that. Other than this, make sure you go into the Play Store, install all the cool applications so that you can get the maximum out of your devices. And bonus tip, if you're using the S23 Ultra, go ahead and grab that S Pen, take it out and use it to the maximum potential, because this small pen, it could be small but it's mighty powerful. Samsung even shows you what awesome things you can do with this, so definitely give these things a shot. And if you guys are interested, I could bring you guys a separate video on the S Pen, because there are a lot of awesome things that you can really do with the S Pen on the Galaxy S23 Ultra. So with that, I want to bring this video to a wrap. If you guys are new to my channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button right now. And if you found this video tips useful, go ahead and share it with a friend, share it all over the internet, and hit on that like button, because that keeps me motivated to make more awesome tip videos just like this for you in the future. So with that, all of that being said, guys, I hope this video was useful. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. And until I see you guys in my next video, this is Banu signing out.